If you've been enjoying our podcast as much as we have and hope that we continue past 50 episodes, here's your chance. Here's your chance to help make that happen. By becoming a Patreon subscriber, not only will you help the Little House on the Prairie 50th Anniversary podcast to live on, but you'll also get exclusive content just for you.
Here's what's in store for you. Join monthly Q&A sessions where you can ask us about anything. Whether it's about our work, personal interests, or advice on your own projects, we're here to connect and share.
Enjoy unique content created specifically for Patreon subscribers, including bonus segments from our shows.
You'll have a say in what we create, and you'll have a voice in future content.
Benefit from exclusive discounts on merchandise and entries into special giveaways. It's our way of saying thank you for your support.
Receive personalized shout-outs in videos, podcasts, or social media posts.
Because your support on Patreon allows us to dedicate more resources to creating the content that you love.
You could join the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast community on Patreon and become a Prairie patron for just $5 a month.
The first 50 new members will get autographed pictures of Allison and me, a signed Living on a Prairie card from Pamela,
and signed book plates for all of our books. Yes, for Confessions of a Prairie Bitch and for Prairie Man, My Little House Life and Beyond.
We thank you so much for your continued support, and we cannot wait to share our ongoing journey with you on Patreon. Stay tuned for our launch date. We are extremely grateful for the support of visitseemevalley.com and the city of Simi Valley's belief in Little House on the Prairie and their support of the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast.
Discover the charm of Simi Valley, California, the home of the prairie. Visit Simi Valley, where adventure meets history and the spirit of the prairie comes alive. Explore the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, step aboard Air Force One, enjoy stunning hikes and savor delicious local cuisine. Whether you're here for a weekend getaway or a family vacation, Simi Valley offers something for everyone and is only 30 minutes from Los Angeles. Plan your visit today and experience the best of Simi Valley. Go to visitseemevalley.com for more details. Your adventure awaits in Simi Valley.
There's her light. Hello, everybody. Just in time, Allison lit herself as we went live. How are you, everyone? I'm Pamela Bob. I'm your host, creator and star of Living on a Prairie. I am here with our awesome, wonderful, although terrible, Prairie Bitch. That's right, Allison Arngrim, and our wonderful, awesome, not terrible, #imaginary boyfriend, Dean Butler. Hi, guys. How are you?
How are you, Pamela?
I'm hanging in there. It's hot in New York. It's humid and
really?
gross. Oh, it's been yucky.
It's sort of, it's really been unseasonably comfortable in Southern California. Overcast on the west side this morning. It's like 65 degrees. I mean, it's just like, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's hot and very
toasty
humid
up here, but we've been at least getting a little like clouds in the morning, so it's not just this endless onslaught of heat, which it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm here with my dog, and it's so hot that it's uncomfortable walking the dog, and it's concrete. I have trees and stuff in my neighborhood, but it's mostly concrete. Even the dog park around here is concrete dog park. Yeah. And there's just no relief. And I thought, I need to get to water where the dog can be in the water too. And I found one about a half an hour away in Larchmont. And it's the bay. So it's a beach on the bay, and it's a dog beach. So the dogs can be free and play in the water and swim, and that's what we did yesterday. It was great.
Oh, how great.
Dog beach. I didn't know they had a dog beach. I know. That's genius.
It was genius. It was great, and it was such a good relief. And she was pooped the rest of the day, so I didn't have to walk her again until the sun went down and it was cooler outside.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
What about you guys? What's happening in your life, in your world?
It's a Little House all the time, isn't it, Allison? It really is.
Endless back to back. Yeah, because we've got I've got Indiana, and then I got Wisconsin, and it's just, yeah.
That's right. You're going to Pepin.
I'm going to Pepin. I love Pepin.
Yes, which is so pretty in the fall.
I haven't been in years.
It's so pretty in the fall.
I love it.
We're going to be in Indianapolis together on September 6th, so that's the same weekend you're going to be in Pepin, right, Allison?
Well, we're doing Indianapolis, and then I'm doing, I'm with you guys in whatever it is. What's the name of the town? It's the fabulous thing. Blue Angel Connect is this benefit thing, and I get to do my show, and then we get to sign autographs in this little in India, and then the very next weekend I'm off in Pepin Land.
Oh,
there you go.
Great.
So we're going to be there with you, and I are going to be there with Karen Grassley, which is really fun. We do, Karen is so selective about.
I know. I'm so surprised.
So it's really fun that she's coming to Indianapolis. I'm looking forward to that. I will be in Mansfield, September 26th, 27th, with Charlotte Stewart and Wendy Lully. Perhaps one of her final appearances with us for a while. I'll be doing Fan Expo in Dallas, October 4th and 5th, and we're doing something fun. So
I'm so excited.
What are we doing on November 22nd in NYC?
Okay, guys. Here's the announcement, and I did tease it last week on my Instagram and Facebook pages, but I'm so happy that we're officially announcing, and I've been wanting to do this for a year now, so it's finally happening. Dean, Allison, and I are going to be doing a live podcast. Woohoo! Special event. We're doing it November 22nd at the Green Room 42 in New York City. And also the good news is if you cannot be here in New York City, they offer digital live streaming tickets.
That's awesome.
So anyone around the world can purchase a ticket, less expensive ticket digitally. And also the link, if you can't catch it actually live, the link is live for, I think, at least 30 days. So you can watch it whenever you can watch it.
So we can come home and watch us.
Yes, that is it exactly.
Okay. And how can I see it? And finally, yes, we have, yes.
So it'll be us. We might have some special guests to TBD, but things are in the works, and we will take audience questions. And we just wanted to have events where the audience can come and be with us. And like I say to you guys all the time, people just want to be in the room with you. So this is the chance for it to happen, and it's the first of hopefully many, and I'm super excited.
Well, thank you for and Pamela. You have been cracking that whip on this idea for a while. So thank you.
I know I've been driving them crazy about it.
and then after that, December 12th through 14th, we are now. This is not a formal announcement, but this is just a pencil it in. December 12th through 14th in Simi Valley at Strathern Park. We are going to be announcing an event there, a holiday Little House cast reunion in Simi Valley. So we are returning to the scene of not exactly the same location, actually a very cool 1800s themed location.
I want to go.
In Simi Valley, which is really going to be fun for us. So stay tuned for that announcement.
So
I think we need to step right into this.
Yes,
we've got so much to cover today.
Listen, we're covering a classic. Go on.
It's The Talking Machine, one of my greatest performances, as directed by Mr. Victor French. I'm just saying.
But first, let me say, produced from a secret Southern California location. Ooh, Tony moved. The studios of UB and Go. This is the Little House 50th Anniversary Podcast. It's a secret location. Okay. Allison, this is a classic villain episode. Dean, why don't you tell us what we're recapping today?
Yeah, so today's episode, Season 2, Episode 12, The Talking Machine. The Talking Machine is episode number 36 in the series, premiered on January 14th, 1976, written by Harold Swanton, who wrote 3 other episodes of Little House, If I Should Wake Before I Die, one of my favorites, The Hunters, and I'll Ride the Wind. The Talking Machine was directed by one of our absolute favorites, Victor French. Allison, what's it about?
It's the best. You have a synopsis, which barely does it justice, but yeah, greatest, one of my finest performances. Nellie and Laura, again, as per usual, both clamoring for the affections boy at school. Yeah, and what is in the water girls in Walnut Grove that all the women folk, even the children, are like, I must have a boyfriend. Like, they're just like a little over the top about this. It's just like out of control. Angered when Jason indicates a preference for Laura over, Nellie attempts to sabotage the relationship by using her newfangled talking machine, no kidding, as a malicious tool for Laura's humiliation. But in the end, Laura and Walnut Grove survive. First ever brush with recorded cruelty. Yeah.
Now, I just want to say, at the end of this episode, I was a little bummed when I saw Laura carve JR plus LI in a tree.
Girl, that's like, in my notes, too.
She's been carving. How many trees has she,
She's killing the trees for love.
It's deforestation. She's just this terrible deforestation campaign of Laura's love life. It's just wrecking the joint.
And I want to say, they did exactly, so Ted Voigtlander did exactly the same shot for this that he did in Back to School, where the walking and the tracking through the trees to the JR plus LI moment. Laura falls for every blonde guy she meets, it seems.
Foreshadowing. I think foreshadowing with the whole tree.
Older blonde guys.
I'm like, his voice has changed and you're 8. What are you doing?
And I think that's really interesting because Melissa generally has not been into Melissa, not Laura, but Melissa has generally had no interest in blondes at all. So it's sort of an interesting thing for her.
Yeah, Laura. And now I checked the ages because the marvelous Eric Shea. Now, my mother used to joke about the Shea brothers. Back in the days in Hollywood, there were the Shea brothers, Eric Shea, Christopher Shea. I forget how many there were, but there were the Shea brothers. They were all marvelous child actors, and they worked all the time. They were in everything. And between the 3 of them, their IMDb just goes from here to the end of the earth. But they were in everything. And my mother used to joke about it being auditioned. She'd go, "Oh, it's the Shays. As they get older, there's always another Shea. They're breeding them in a lab, in a basement." Just the endless Shea brothers. So he's one of the many Shays and is very
like
good.
Menudo.
Menudo Shea. He's just one of the lovely Shea boys, but there's thousands of the boys from Brazil. We don't know if they're cloning them, but the Shea boys. And he was 16 when we did this. So he's not, at least he's not 37, he's
right.
16. This aired January 1976. I turned 14 on the 18th that year. So this was shot. I was only 13, which means that Melissa Gilbert was 11.
11.
Yeah, now,
that's insane.
An 11-year-old girl. I remember being an 11, 12-year-old, yes, getting crushes and puppy love, but like on another 11-year-old. Like when I was about 12, almost 13, I did have a boyfriend. He was also 12, and it was very sweet and like normal people.
No, 16 is like...
that's another universe.
It's another universe. It's one thing like 15 and 17, you could kind of see them. They're both in high school. Sure. They have something to discuss.
Sure.
But she's in middle school or late elementary school. He's in high school and would be learning to drive is basically
what she's in 6th grade. He's in 10th grade or something, or 11th grade.
Yeah. And even if a girl, I remember 11, okay, you fall for, whoever it was that year, Sean Cassidy, you fall for some boy who's much older. Wow. I got to tell you, 16-year-old boys are not interested in 11-year-old girls. Unless there's something terribly wrong with them. They're just
that must have been weird for him, too.
16-year-old boys to be like, why? Why are you even speaking to me?
But that, of course, that, of course, is the cuteness of the whole thing. Is that it's just such an unlikely deal, and the way it ends is so sweet in I think in a very unexpected way.
Well, but he's
which we'll get to.
He's like agreeing to date her.
Well, now wait a minute. Let's not tip it too far here. Now, I want to talk about George Firth. Yeah. George Firth was Hannibal Godfrey in this. Wonderful actor, writer, always played flim-flammers. in his career. I met George Firth in the 90s when I was doing Company in Long Beach. George Firth, of course, wrote Company.
George Firth wrote freaking Company.
That's how I know George Firth as a writer.
Yep.
Yeah, he wrote Company with Stephen Sondheim. And he was a neighbor of mine in Beechwood Canyon. I didn't know this. He had a bunch of cast members over. I mean, George Firth was effusively complimentary about our production of Company and was,
brilliant.
Look, projecting that it should go to Broadway. He was calling Stephen, all of this that
Who
he
were
said.
You? Who were you?
We went to, I was not Bobby in the show, by the way. So that was Patrick Cassidy who did a wonderful job in that. But I went to his house. It was like I walked like 2 blocks around the corner in Beechwood Canyon, and there was George Firth's beautiful house looking out, had the same view I had looking out over the city of Los Angeles. It was just, he was a lovely, lovely guy, and so funny, clever, and so, and in this, just as he always was, just sort of like dancing as fast as he can to make a deal of some kind.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean,
and he was in everything. He was in, what was it? There was the Scarlett O'Hara Wars, and he was George Cukor in that. I mean, George Firth was.
Wasn't he in Butch Cassidy and Sundance?
I think so. Yeah, he was in freaking everything.
He was in Butch Cassidy, wasn't he? He worked for the bank company. He's guarding the money, and
he's like that guy in everything. And then it was so weird. It's like, and then he was writing these plays for a friend, and then he wrote Company.
Because
he wrote Company. The guy who wrote Company.
I know him.
I
know him as a writer. I didn't even know he was an actor. This is like,
oh my God.
I've seen this episode 80 gazillion times, and this is the first time I realized, oh my God, that's George Firth. I had no idea.
He's so terrific. I want to talk about, so on the Nellie mean scale, Allison, how awful are you in this? See, I didn't think you were as awful as we've been talking about you being awful. You were sort of like, you weren't terrible in this. You've been worse in other things.
Because the music box where I make
Girl.
You think this is Mean Girl, like total?
That's worse. That's worse. But I'm kind of terrible here because when you see how badly I've hurt her when she's crying later to Pa after I've ruined her life in the school, I've just destroyed her emotionally. I have revealed things. I've really hurt her. She's really hurt by that.
Twisting the mustache.
Yeah, she's so manipulative.
The glee with which I did it. This episode, by the way, is also the first episode where Willie is told to stand in the corner. And this is the beginning of the running gag. Someone noticed that was the first time. He gets told
also,
twice.
Didn't we feel that was a bit harsh for the comment that he said? His comment was clever and funny. Why is he being punished for it? I don't get it.
And why? And Miss Beadle looks like things that are going out of control in that class go on way too long. Like, stop that. But yeah, I'm so, and I too, I'm only, like I said, I'm only 13. I shouldn't be chasing this guy either. We're both way, way too young to be remotely interested.
Yeah, but at 13, it makes
at 11,
I think so.
And I was at least
look, it's benign infatuation. Nothing's going to happen here.
Right, holding hands, tops.
That's the sort of the sweetness of it.
Yes.
It's this benign thing.
And can I say,
and
Melissa Sue is so brilliant in this. Melissa Sue Anderson, this is, I think, one of her greatest episodes.
Agreed.
She does an eye roll at the dinner table. And Jason said it. And she just, her eyes go right back into her head. She rolls her eyes so hard she almost hurts herself at the dinner table.
That's the Benjamin Franklin was president.
Benjamin Franklin president. And she does, the greatest teenage eye roll in the history of Earth at the dinner table. There were several scenes where I had to hand it to her. That was really
She was good. She wait, let's take it back. Let's take it back from the beginning so people understand what we're actually tracking here. So we start the show with Jason, kid in school, of which we've never seen before
Ordinary
and we'll never see again.
Gangly boy.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, we really go back. We're really starting in the mercantile, with introducing the whole concept of the
talking machine,
the talking machine, which is going to be the problem.
And the Olsons don't know why they would have such a contraption,
and
so
they're
they
not
decided
interested.
not to buy it. And this reminds me of the very first time I ever heard about Twitter and Facebook.
Like, why?
Someone told me, and again, my first reaction was, why would I use that? Why do I need to update people on my life? Like, who's watching this? Who's reading this? I don't get it.
I think this episode, like so many episodes we've talked about, this episode is prescient, projecting into the future. Now, look, it also has the advantage of a lot of knowledge where, okay, Jason's projections about where the world's going, yes, that's fun. But the social media, that audio thing that can hurt people, that was prescient.
Nels meets the internet. He's like, what is this for? Yeah.
And the trolls behind it. I mean, when I'm skipping ahead again, but when Nellie is recording Laura and you just see Willie doing the recording with his hand over his mouth, trying not to laugh, is so cruel and trolly and horrible.
Jonathan
anyway, we'll go back.
Stunning.
Yeah, you want to go ahead, Pamela.
So there's a George Firth.
Freaking Firth.
A natural homeopath. And what else did his wagon say? A homeopath, was he an inventor? Or anyway, he's a guy who travels town to town to town. He is a flim-flammer. He is trying to sell
There's a
this
sucker
talking
board
machine.
every minute.
I don't have any
right.
cash. I don't have any cash. Can I give you this ridiculous thing you don't need instead?
Exactly.
Right.
So, anyway, so we're introduced to this talking machine that Olsons pass on. Then we go to school where the thirsty girls are thirsting after this boy, Jason.
The thirsty girls. I love that.
These girls, it's like every week, it's like, oh, look, something in pants.
And it's always Nellie and Laura have similar taste in men because they always want the same.
We always want the same guy, or do I always want them just because she wants them?
I don't know. We don't.
Well, I think you. Oh, well, who started it? But you really had the first
I started it. I think she wanted them because I wanted it. I dropped my books. Did you? Okay, can I just say, it's again one of my fabulous performances in this episode. When I dropped the books, I dropped my book. That! And like the fake book drop to get the guy. I was dying of laughter. I hadn't watched this and I was cracking up because I was like, oh, that was good. That was good.
Now, fun fact, Jason is a little mini scientist, and he is trying to do an experiment with the Benjamin Franklin experiment of discovering electricity by flying a kite in a lightning storm.
Historical moment.
Now, another fun fact, my sister and I absolutely tried to do this in real life.
Really? Did you really?
And how badly did you get hurt?
Never. It never worked. I mean, it never.
Because I checked. Yeah. Benjamin Franklin obviously didn't really discover electricity. Electricity, they knew it existed since 100 years before. They just hadn't figured out how to use it or what. His thing was, hey, that lightning stuff, that's electricity.
That is electricity.
That was a theory. They're going, is lightning electricity? I think it's electricity. And he's like, yes, it's electricity. And he set out to show that. So he said, I bet I could capture it. And now the story about the key and the kite and the thing is kind of like a little George Washington chopping down the cherry tree thing. Yeah. They're not totally sure this went down, that they think they know when it happened, and they said it was him and his son, and there are several people, no, there are witnesses that swear that he and his son did this, but everyone's like, was anybody else there? No. But they said when he did this, if he did do this, what he described was really static electricity from the lightning storm catching the key. He said, had lightning actually struck the key, like everybody who does this in a cartoon or a television show, Benjamin Franklin and his son would be dead. It would send you to the hospital or kill you. As
it would have killed Laura. I mean, she just sort of like, ooh, and she falls down, but it would have been much more intense.
A child that size, Doc Baker would not have been able to, she would have died.
Doc is good, he would have died. But he's not that good. Yeah.
A lot of people have gotten hurt very, very, very badly fooling around with keys on wet.
All right. What I want to know, Allison, is how do you know these things?
Well,
Google.
I remember that when I
Google. Well, of course, but I mean, the fact you have time to look it all up.
I looked stuff up because when I was a kid and I wanted to, of course, run out in the pouring rain with the key, my mother was like, that's insanely dangerous and that the string gets wet and like that's not how that works really because you'll like die. They had some sense and then with this I looked it up. And they're going, we're not even sure now if Ben Franklin really did it, but they're going, no, you can't get wet. They were in a building. He and his son were like under a shelter because obviously they couldn't actually get wet when they're fully with electricity, like these two children are in the show running around in the rain. And obviously they had to keep stuff dry and know if it was a direct hit from the lightning that close to them, they'd have been taken away on a stretcher. So they're like, that's not how it works at all. Which is why my parents said, no, you're not going out with a kite and a string and a key in the rain because there
was something about this episode for little kids watching it of like, ooh, I want to try this.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. Do not try this at home. This is a do not try this at home thing, okay?
Yeah,
Please,
totally.
People, do not go out in the rain.
Where do you want to go? I mean, Pamela, I'm sort of fascinated by it, and I think this is so in your territory here in terms of things that you really pick up on. So much gendering information or roles, gender roles being talked about in this episode. I think it's really that is, other than the fact that Laura's crazy in love here or in infatuation, it's the discussion of what's possible for young girls. And when she says, I'm not pretty enough.
I know.
At 11.
It's like, it's such an interest. And of course, Pa just, Pa being the good, he just sort of blows that off. That's not important. But I think it's really interesting. I'm just wondering like how millions of young girls watching this through the years have reacted to that conversation.
Because Pa's being real progressive.
Pa's being awesome. Well, that conversation of I'm not pretty enough, I think every single girl has had that conversation or that thought, period. Like every single girl has thought those thoughts.
Prettiest girl has like sat
has thought those she's not pretty enough.
Yeah,
right.
1,000%. But more than the pretty conversation is the and again, I don't think I really picked up on this as a kid, but as a woman, I'm picking up on the things like, well, I'll never be as smart as him. Or like, maybe you think I could, like a woman is a doctor in Mankato? That's crazy. And to think that that's the first time she's ever heard that could even be a possibility that a woman could be a doctor or any kind of scientist. And of course, still at
11 years old, that's not terribly surprising. I mean, that she wouldn't know that.
Well, especially in that, but in that day and age, there weren't women doctors.
No,
that's
of course
not. Crazy, unheard of thought.
But
so we think that Harold Swanton is projecting into the future. He's modeling a little bit for young.
Well, it depends. In the big city, in the 1870s, in London, in New York. There were female scientists and female doctors. Not a lot of them, but they existed. Yeah. But not really in Minnesota in the 1870s. You would have to go to the big city. Yes, in London and New York, and sure, like my dolls in France. But And
at one point, Laura says, like, I don't know if somewhere she says something like, maybe one day, or I don't know if one day I'll be a lady scientist. And I'm like, you mean a scientist?
Right.
It's just a scientist. Right. But it was a novel idea, I'm sure.
Right.
So no, it's interesting that he's going to be the big scientist and she's just going to be like his little sidekick who won't really get any of the credit.
I can help you. And she comes running out to the field to find him working on his kite. I didn't quite understand why she fell. She comes running out and she falls down. And when she's chasing him the first time.
She's always falling.
It's like, was she always falling?
In this episode, how many times does she throw? She also throws herself on the ground a couple of times. Like later when she's constantly falling down and throwing herself on the ground in this episode. I don't know what's going on.
She's also screaming a lot.
Well,
I watched this episode
hooray,
early.
hooray moment. Oh my God, was really like, that was pretty big.
I was watching this early in the morning and she kept screaming and I was like, calm it down. Like, just stop.
It's too early.
And I don't have enough coffee in my system. system for this. Calm it.
And I'm thinking,
but again,
okay,
she has no swag.
A
Laura has no
16-year-old
swag.
boy, and he's being pursued by the 11-year-old girl, and he might go, that's cute. And he might think, well, she's really smart, we could be friends. Except she's like, Jason! Like, dogs
so
are
loud.
barking. Dogs are barking at this point. And I'm like, I don't think that's gonna really. He's not gonna want that. That's gonna put him off.
No, she's got no game. She never had game. Laura Ingalls never had game. Cringy.
She had game eventually.
No, she didn't. You were just a nerd who fell for her. That's all. She did not.
Okay,
It's not
Lady
like
Doctor.
even later in life, she did not. She's so cringy.
Lady Doctors, Elizabeth Blackwell. Elizabeth Blackwell was the first well-known female doctor. Of course, she came from England, but she indeed founded the, where did she found? A big center for typhus. She founded the New York Infirmary for Women and Children with her sister, Emily Blackwell, in 1857. So there you go, in New York, and she started teaching women and girls, and she's very big. But yeah, she's all about typhus and stuff. And so he could have, if one Paul was saying, in the big, because in New York, it was post-Civil War, he would have known, wasn't there that infirmary that was such a big deal, those two women who, he would have heard of it. So.
All right, so we've talked about the gendering here, which is sort of interesting. I think we should take a quick break and come back and talk about how the talking machine creates all this cruelty and humiliation. So, Pamela, take us to a break.
We will be right back and come back with the horrors of the talking machine.
The Little House on the Prairie 50th Anniversary podcast is presented in part by visitsimiValley.com. In the movie and television capital of the world, Simi Valley is the television home of the OG Little House on the Prairie television series, and people come to Simi Valley from all over the world to feel the Little House love. Simi Valley is the home of the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, celebrating the legacy of an iconic American who embodied the can-do spirit of California. Visit Simi Valley, a warm, friendly community that knows how to make their guests feel welcome. Accessible and affordable, Simi Valley is a great place to live and a great place to start your next California adventure. Simi Valley is hometown America in the Los Angeles Basin. For more information about your Simi Valley visit, go to visitsimiValley.com.
Hi, we're back. Okay, so at this point, Nellie confides in her mother that she doesn't understand why Jason isn't in love with her, and Mrs. Oleson understands, he's into science. Let's get that talking machine, because talking machines are gonna snatch the man. Yeah.
And
because nothing says love like science.
Nels, again, the only one with any sense on the whole frickin' show, says this child is not old enough to blow the foam off a sarsaparilla.
I love that.
Why are we even doing this? She's 13. Yeah, he's the only one who is like, what are you even all talking about? Yeah, Nels, thank God. Nels has, but yes, talking to you. Now, I personally, the scene on the porch, how outrageous is this? He comes up, he's walking along Laura, and she's finally getting somewhere with him. And I sit on the porch and I don't say like, hi, Jason. I just sit there, crank on the thing, and it goes, I'm a talking machine. That's almost at us. We alive, walking to me. And he's like, what the hell? And comes up and are you interested in my talking machine? I mentioned I had a talking machine. You weren't interested before. I have a talking machine. And it's the most outlandish performance, but this is talking, and it works. He's so fascinated with talking. He just walks right away from Laura, and I go, and then I say, well, not Laura, because my mother doesn't like, children.
Children in the house.
Around the good china. So yeah, that is so outrageous. I mean, it was written outrageously, and then with Victor French, right? I mean, I'm just like, that is bananas, and it works. And I get him up. Oh my God! So Laura has a fit, and then, when he still likes her, I've got to now ruin her life, as I am wont to do.
Yes, clearly.
Always with the gun.
It's the only way.
When Nellie offers you candy, it's like some guy in a white van offering you candy. Don't do not take. If Nellie says, it's okay, you can have all the candy, take a handful. It's something bad. Something bad. is going to happen. Do not take the picture.
Yeah.
So I'm like, come up to the room, come to the room. Why? And so again, I mean, this at least was early in the show. Like, why does Laura keep trusting me? She's like, Lucy.
Yeah.
I get her up.
It's that blank spot in her consciousness that drives everything, basically.
And again, Nels is going, what? Nels, the only person
he's looking a little surprised.
What is going on?
Yeah.
He knows this is all wrong. And I get her up there, and clearly I'm being way too creepy and way too nice. And of course, the brilliant Jonathan Gilbert.
Evil.
Screen. So good. He's so good in this one. We're on the bed.
So did Victor, talk about a little bit about what, because I think this is sort of interesting.
Victor French.
Victor's take to you about how to do this.
Victor's
I think this is sort of interesting.
Freaking brilliant. He was really good about how things should build and to like, no more, no, go all the way. And he knew how to get it. And his thing was, it didn't really matter how you got there or what the hell you were thinking about. You could be method. It didn't matter as long as you went somewhere with this thing. And so he's like, yeah, more. And then she leaves, and I'm doing the tantrum. And then I get up, and then the idea, the horrible, evil idea. And I was kind of even thinking a little bit how the Grinch stole Christmas when the Grinch says, and then the Grinch got an idea, a wonderful, terrible, evil idea. And I remember that moment when the Grinch smiled when he realized what he was going to do to his. It was kind of, I was feeling that. I was kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of there with that. And I had the thing, and I start to get the idea of, yes, I will do this thing. I will record her and ruin her life. Mm-hmm. And Victor's going, more, no, okay, keep it rolling. No, worse. No more evil, no more terrible. And then I had been reading these horror comics that week on the set, and with werewolves and zombies and things. They were very, very gory and fabulous. I was 13. And just as I'm kind of really getting into that good, like, almost the Grinch time of evil. And then Victor said, think of your werewolf comic books. And then you just see this fabulous, beautiful smile just overtake me. Oh my God. And he's like, yes, that's it. So yes, he was willing to just egg me on and go, keep going, keep it coming. No, keep going in this direction. Go all the rest of the way. And
so he's talking to you during this. I'm trying to think.
Right through it.
But there weren't any bridge cuts in this. So you're just sort of listening to him and taking.
She's left the room, and there's no dialogue. It's just the music and me picking up the thing and having a thing. So he did. He absolutely rah-rahed, cheered me through it. More, go for it. Werewolves.
He's feeding you increasing levels of evil, and very quickly, obviously, because this all happens within like a 10-second period.
The thing is, we were like, just like, he saw where I was going. He saw that the coffee was a percolating, and he was like, yep, we're going the right way. Keep going. Like, when you're parking a car. It's just, keep going, little left.
Keep going.
Turn your wheels.
Yeah.
It was like, he was walking me into the parking space. And it was like, yep. And then it was, think of your werewolf comic books. And then it was like, kaboom. And he's like, and cut print.
Was first had he directed an episode before this one?
I don't know if this was his first or not. But by God, he was good.
I feel like no. He directed If I Should Wake Before I Die,
which is another favorite. God, I love that.
Which is, and I think one of my favorite Michael performances in If I Should Wake Before I Die. Victor got Michael working in a way that was very intimate and personal.
Yeah.
Really, Victor was a wonderful director.
Yeah. Okay, I say there was a moment in the school, and I'm jumping ahead, but when the whole thing goes down, where Jason says, "Yes, it's me, I did it," and the class is shocked. They've been laughing and they're shocked. I turn around like, "What the fuck?" And the look on my face, I fell off the couch. I was like, Did Victor tell? I think Victor egged me on that, which was like, no, like more like because it was just the most absolute what the. It's hysterical. It's the greatest take. He had me do this take. Look at, and the stuff he was directing Jonathan when Jonathan was those priceless moments. He was pulling stuff out of people. It was lovely.
Yeah,
That's a good director.
He was really good. let's just jump back a little bit to the moment that, I mean, we've seen Jason. He's demonstrating something where he's talking about what makes the talking machine work. He's figured out the tinfoil and the vibrations, and that's what makes it work. And then you get up and start cranking this thing
in the class in front of everybody.
And we watch everybody's, Laura's horror growing as this happens, and you blithely continuing to crank like there. And Miss Beadle, stop, and it's stuck. Or what did you say? You say it's
one
like
of my favorite lines in the universe. I'm obviously, you see me because it's not a tight shuffle. I am purely cranking the handle. It does not work unless you crank the handle. It's not an off-on switch. I'm cranking the handle, and Miss Beadle to stop, and I said, I can't. It's stuck. As I am happily cranking the handle, I'm like, oh my God, totally deadpan doing that. Beautiful. But yeah, it was, again, present. It was the future that people would expose people, the kind of thing that would go on the internet, exposing people's most personal things and secrets, secretly recording people, videotaping people in their intimate moments and destroying their lives, that this would one day be a thing. And especially with teenagers, this is like a horrible Mean Girls on Facebook, TikTok moment. And
oh my God,
here it is.
It reminds me of, did you have slam books when you were in middle school?
Yes, we did.
Oh my gosh.
What? Okay, sorry. For those who are a little older, what is a slam book?
Was it mostly girls who did the slam book? Did boys ever even?
Guys don't do it. Guys would just pound each other on the basketball court.
In my experience, the boys participated in it too. And I know this because
you got slammed?
In 6th grade, I got slammed. So it's just a notebook.
It's a notebook. It goes around the room.
The top of every page of the notebook is the name of a person. So like Pamela Bob, there's my designated page.
And questions. Sometimes there were questions. Cool. Do you think they're pretty? Do you think they're cool?
Or they could just freestyle what they thought of you.
Or the book would come around, who's the prettiest girl in class? Who's the ugliest girl in class? Who do you like best? Who do you not like? They'd be specific. Or they would just have someone's name, write what you really think of this person, and pass it around the whole freaking
it was horrible.
And then it would get to you. And
this is just like equal opportunity decimation of people.
It was vile.
And was everybody in the class?
No,
anyone that it was passed to. Yeah,
you would eventually see it. There was no you were definitely going to see that damn book
because it got passed around to you too.
There you go.
You saw what everyone wrote on your page.
Wow.
So,
kids are so cruel.
Oh my God, it's so cruel. I mean, this is pre-internet. They just do that online now, but, this is what it reminded me. I mean, I think the reason why episodes like this also are so is because probably the majority of us have experienced some kind of bullying like this.
Of course.
I definitely know that I have. And the portrayal and even the image of Willie in the corner, trying not to laugh while recording her is so frickin' brutal because we've all been there with these people thinking it's funny to do these things.
The basic, she likes a boy. Guess who Pamela likes? Pamela likes Tommy.
Yeah,
Shut up, he's so ugly. Pamela likes Tommy. I mean, you had that. This was taking that to nuclear proportions and torturing this girl.
And of course the slam, unless you happen to know people's writing, the slamming is anonymous. I mean, other than you, the printing is there, and you may know someone's. Or are people signing these things?
I think some people are signing it because I know in my experience, the boy that I was madly in love with wrote on my page horrible things about me, cruel, nasty, and I knew it was. I'm trying to remember whether I knew it was him because I knew it was his handwriting or because he actually signed his name. But anyway, it is sort of known who's writing what for some of it. It's so dumb. It's so mean. It's so mean.
Melissa.
Well, it is mean. All right, so let's just jump ahead because the time is running on us here. So this happens. Laura's devastated.
Rightfully so. Horrible.
She runs home and she's talking to Pa and she's talking to Mary and
Mary's finally nice to her because Mary has not
Mary, who seems to be bulletproof with boys.
No, I know.
But she gets it. She's so good in this. She's
from the get-go. She is not for games with this whole, like, I have a crush on this boy thing. She couldn't be bothered. She finds it super annoying. She's mean about it. Like, I told you, Mary has the two sides of Mary. Mary has the super nice side and then the super bitchy side. She's bitch Mary the first half of this episode.
And she's right? She's always a narc, but she rats me out right now.
Yes. And then, thank God, the second half, after this horrible thing happens to Laura, she really is like the sister that everyone wishes they have. She's super supportive and kind, and even holding her hand going to school, making sure she's...
Yes.
That's a good sister.
And Pa saying he's going to like you more now. If he really likes you, he's going to like you more after all this than he did before.
It's funny. Did you guys ever talk to your parents about your crushes that you had at school?
No, never.
We're both like, ew, right? But like, and then it's ultimate slam book, because then it's the blackboard and it says Jason loves Laura. Now it's the slam book from hell. It's the blackboard, and everyone assumes someone has done this to humiliate her further, and they all think it's me. Miss Beadle comes right over.
Well, the shot, the sign, Miss Beadle over your shoulder. She's looking right at you.
Like, I am doing, and for once I'm like, what? No.
I think that was some wonderful piece of shooting right there to sort of project that onto you. So the moment happens when. So this is all sort of spinning in my head now. So they smile at each other. So how do we get to the hand holding, walking through the woods?
I did it, Miss Beadle, and it's true, and sits down, and the whole gasp. And that's when I turn and look at him like he has three heads. And
yes.
Right.
Because it turns out that Jason was the one that wrote Jason
and he
loves
does
Laura
like her, and I'm like,
bored. It's very sweet.
It's very sweet.
I need to take it back the scene before this, though, which is when Michael and Pa goes to the
goes to Nell
which is like awesome. You're just waiting for this moment the entire episode of like kicking ass of Pa to Nellie's parents, right? And Nell's once again takes the belt and
pretty good sized belt too.
A really big belt.
That wasn't just a little namby-pamby belt. That was some serious halters.
And surprisingly to the viewing audience, child abuse is absolutely condoned right now. It is well deserved. Let's hit her with the belt.
You definitely deserve it.
And I think he does it, right? I remember there was an episode we recapped where he also did the belt, and you guys had a theory that he didn't actually.
I still think he didn't do it. So, now, Mrs. Olsen goes, I won't hear of it. And he says, yeah, you don't have to. Craig gives her the talking machine.
Good one.
Nels has all the good lines. I said something about Jason, I can't believe he wears shoes. And he goes, he's from Massachusetts. What is that? Good shoe country. Good shoe country. He's hysterical.
Shoe country.
Nels has one of the best lines in this episode. But he takes the belt, he goes upstairs. Now, we never see it because Michael Lang
of course.
Psychopath.
Of course, you never see it.
But
you could hear it, but you never hear
it. Nope. And there's a lot of weirdos out there who always write and go, they should have shown it. They should have shown it. Like,
God, Allison, no.
I don't think he did. I think he got up there and gave me the lecture of all time, and I went,
held the belt.
No, please don't. And then he said, well, and I got like a severe lecture. If you keep doing this, I'm going to have to hit you one day. And then he like.
So no, wait a minute. Does anyone really? I mean, I'm so Allison.
No.
You do such wonderful work in these things, but for anyone to believe that these tears, this upset is for real, is like you. Gotta be kidding me. I mean, this is like Cry 101. How do I be as outrageous as I can be? But I mean, are we supposed to believe this upset is real?
If you want to see the difference, is go watch the episode, Will You Loves Me, Loves Me Not, when Percival proposed to get married. When Percival is leaving and the Olsen's finding crying in my room, Percival left, and I'm actually crying. And it's like, and they even go, wait, what? Because when we see her really cry, because all the other times I am crying because I'm being
it's supposed to work.
I'm crying because I want a horse, I want a doll, I want a boyfriend, or I'm just like, how dare you?
she's
The world is
Laura.
ignoring me. I am unhappy. I am bored. I have venal, ridiculous reasons. Yes.
Well, and you do that exceptionally well, and I think I agree with you. Nels never takes the strap to you because he's afraid that Harriet will unload on him.
And I think he also, Nels was all super like justice, like, okay, he was again probably ahead of his time. I mean, now they've done all the studies going, it really doesn't work that well. Kids are still awful.
Right.
There's a lot of people.
Kids need a little strap, perhaps.
And but that I think he gets up there and reads you the riot act and says, how many times are we going to do this? I'm going to, I keep telling your mother.
Many more times now.
Many more times. Yes.
So Laura is walking off after this moment. It's Love and Blue, beautiful cue by David Rose. They're walking hand in hand through the woods.
It's so sweet.
And Laura says, I may not be a doctor. I may not even marry Jason. I may not marry Jason.
I may not.
But something like that. But it felt wonderful to know that he loved me.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I'd ever be a scientist or if I'd marry Jason, but it was a fine thing to know that he loved me. And then we kill the tree by carving. How many trees were sacrificed in the name of love?
Yeah, no, exactly.
But where's your
it's a
carving?
Sweet ending.
You have a carving too. This is not her first time at the rodeo with carving her loved one's name on a tree.
It becomes a thing. But I'm pretty mean in this because, also, first of all, I sort of invent the idea of recording people and destroying their lives with it. I'm apparently the first person to do this. But it's also when you see her crying to Pa, and she is just destroyed. She is really, like, her life is ruined. She is really severely damaged by this and crying. And he's like, and he even says, oh, dear sweet Nellie, like it's her again.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And they talk about me in the way she's crying. I'm like, I've really done some damage. I've hurt this, but she's bad off.
But she felt better at the end, knowing that Jason loved her. And that's the end of the story. And and Laura falls in love with a blonde. The blondes keep coming. Yeah. Laura keeps falling in love. And
worthy of a happy
love
credit
this
roll.
Story. It's a really wonderful episode. I think we're racing for the exit, Pamela.
We are racing for the exit. It's so nice when it's a nice happy ending, so that the do 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 makes sense.
That the music works there.
Yeah, they're like, yes, happy. It's not no one was just murdered, and then we get the do 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 do. That's how sometimes
it's like
it rolls. Why they didn't have an alternate ending, I will never know. But anyway, bravo, Allison, on yet another villainous
wonderful
horror
villainy.
Story.
Villainy is forever, right?
It is. Beauty is temporary. Villainy is forever. And
villainy
I so enjoyed this episode. Making this episode, I had so much fun making this episode. It was right. It was
oh my God!
You
had the greatest job ever. For a kid in Hollywood, you have one of the great jobs ever in Hollywood.
Did you see that food at the Elson's Mercantile table?
Yeah.
Green beans and the...
Yes. I loved that juxtaposition of the Ingalls family dinner and then the Olsen.
Yes, wonderful. Yeah, really good.
Really good.
Really good. The tin plate and the wonderful china and all that.
I love that Victor French directed this too. It makes me very, very happy. Anyway, that's it. Okay, listen, we announced a lot of spectacular things that are happening, upcoming at the beginning of this episode. Everything will be in the show notes for you guys to refer to, and we'll be posting and updating you on more specifics as we go along. But we're very thankful for you all and excited for upcoming stuff. And, join us on our socials, Little House 50 Podcast, our website, littlehouse50podcast.com. All of this will be on those as well. And we will see you next time. Bob, get the wig. Let's fly. Happy ending, finally.